What happens after we die? Maybe you've asked yourself this question. I know I certainly have. To answer this question, we have to go on a journey. So let's go there together. In the previous videos, we've seen the 7 acts of the divine narrative. In Act 1, we see God who makes everything and it was very good. But it didn't take long for things to go wrong. The rebellion didn't just affect humans, it fractured all of creation. So the big question becomes, what would God do? Would he flush his creation into the toilet? The story often gets told that God is angry at humanity for sinning. But because he loves us, he sends his son Jesus to die in our place and takes our punishment on himself. Then depending on how you understand it, some go to hell, some go to heaven, and the earth itself, well, it gets completely destroyed, and those who believe go to heaven somewhere up there. Maybe you feel this way, that God is angry at you, and you live in constant fear or anxiety of being sent to hell. But is that really how the story ends? Let's turn to Revelation 21 and read verses 1, 2, and 3. In Revelation 21, the Bible reads, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God.'" This is not about escaping earth. It's about heaven or God's space coming down to earth, human space, so that God's space and human space can become one. It's about restoration, not destruction. God doesn't hate you and me. God wants to spend eternity with you and me. Again, the question is not if God wants to be with us. The real question is, do you and I want to be with God? And this is the problem from the beginning. Humans are the ones who don't want to be with God. And the divine narrative is about God pursuing his image bearers. It's the ultimate love story. And humanity constantly is rejecting God, but God is constantly pursuing humanity. Now, too often we can think that we are born, we live, we die, and that's the end of the story. History can feel like it's marching forward randomly, accidentally, without any purpose. But the divine narrative tells a very different story. A story with a beginning, creation, and a story with an end, new creation. But in the meantime, things do seem bleak. Think of the movie Dark Knight. If you have seen it, it's a very unsettling movie. I remember watching it in the movie theaters, and I was definitely very disturbed. The reason being that throughout the movie, Joker, or the antagonist, always seemed to be a step ahead. No matter what Batman did, the Joker always seemed to be getting the best of Batman. And it seemed like evil was winning. But just like in the movie, there is the twist. Jesus is victorious. And Jesus is the enthroned king today. In our last video, we explored the powerful truth, the already but not yet, a tension between what is and what is still to come. But again, let's turn to Revelation 22. In verse 12, the Bible reads, "Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done. I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Blessed are those who wash their robes, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may go through the gates into the city. Outside are the dogs, those who practice magic arts, the sexually immoral, the murderers, the idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star." This is how the story ends. And Jesus is offering us the ultimate invitation. It's not just for later after we die, but it is for here and now, to be part of new creation in the middle of old creation. We started out this video with the question, what happens after we die? The answer is that one day Jesus will return and God's good creation will be fully redeemed. And Jesus is giving us an invitation today to be with him and be with him now and for eternity. Now, I've been thinking about this a lot. When will Jesus return? We're in 2025, and in 8 years, it will be 2033. It would be 2,000 years since Jesus' death and resurrection and ascension. So the obvious question is, why hasn't he come back yet? Why are we still living in old creation? When will the suffering end, the wars, the injustices, the poverty, the pain, and death itself? Well, what is 2,000 years compared to eternity? When my son asks me to play with him and I tell him, give me a minute, I don't mean literally 60 seconds. Neither do I mean 10 hours. I mean, give me a few minutes, right? So what is a few minutes compared to eternity? Or what is few thousand years compared to eternity? What is few, perhaps tens thousands of years compared to eternity? Now, why is Jesus not back yet? I don't have a clue. But I know that he is coming back because he wants to be with us. The question for you and I is, do we want to be with Jesus now and for eternity, and to live forever in God's new and redeemed creation? So that's where we'll leave it today. In the next video, we will explore how does one enter new creation. Thanks for spending this time with me. Until next time, please remember, we don't pay for our salvation, Jesus does.